If you haven't noticed, the world is changing, with a lot of talk about the decline of America, its lost status as a superpower, the rise of China, and the emergence of what many experts call multilateralism, where no one country has the most power and where many middle powers try to pursue good relationships with as many countries as possible while hedging against the biggest states. Pakistan is a great example, the way it stepped up to try to broker an Iran war ceasefire. Why would it do that?
Pakistan, I think the fact that they're trying to mediate peace kind of reflects what China wants. China really doesn't like the continuation of the operations and the high oil prices. And China is definitely not stopping Pakistan from mediating between the two sides. So I think it kind of fits both the American interest and the Chinese interest, which I think is very interesting. And it really shows the swing state nature of Pakistan.
That's Ken Moriyasu, senior fellow at the think tank the Hudson Institute, and until recently a top international correspondent at Nikkei Asia. And if you caught what he just said, he called Pakistan a swing state, but he's not talking about the US elections, which is probably where you've heard the term, about the states that sometimes vote for Republicans and sometimes for Democrats. He's describing a special group of middle powers in Eurasia. Ken's swing states are Armenia, Azerbaijan, Hungary, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Pakistan, Turkey, and Uzbekistan. All right. How did you do in geography class as a kid? Because buckle up, you are going to be seeing a lot more maps. Ken explains that we tend to think about great power competition taking place, for example, in the Indo-Pacific, and we forget about the same dynamic happening on land.
My whole thesis about moving away from the Indo-Pacific is that China, for 15 years, has been trying to avoid dependence on the Indian Ocean, because the Indian Ocean is full of maritime choke points, like the Strait of Hormuz that we're witnessing right. They are trying to avoid the maritime choke points. But my theory is that if the US wants to counter China, it has to move to the Eurasian continent and move to the land choke points, such as Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan and also Armenia. Both are on Ken's swing states list, and they recently signed a peace agreement brokered by the United States. It's one of the few foreign policy wins analysts, even those pretty critical of President Donald Trump, give him credit for.
So Azerbaijan and Armenia have been going at each other for many decades, but they were ready for peace. And then they came to Trump, and Trump proposed creating a land connection between Azerbaijan and its exclave through Armenia, and that's called the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity TRIP. And that would kind of, the current so-called middle corridor goes through the Central Asian country, in China, Central Asia, Caspian Sea, through Azerbaijan to Georgia, and then to Turkey. That's the middle corridor. But this offers another route through the south without going through Georgia, through Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Turkey. So it gives an alternative option to the middle route, which is the whole key of the Eurasian connectivity, is to have multiple options. And we really don't know where Georgia politically is going, so it's always good to have another alternative.
The next swing state is the only one firmly in Europe. That is Hungary. The middle power under Viktor Orban managed good relationships with all three big players, China, Russia, and the United States.
China has been really focusing on Hungary as the gateway to the European Union. It has been investing heavily there, because Hungary kind of has, because of its political leaders, has had problems having a friendly relationship with the rest of the EU. China's taken advantage of that and offered Orban and his administration lots of investment. But Orban also is very close to the Trump administration. So they're really in the middle of these two sides. I think they're playing it pretty well, trying to extract benefits from both sides. So that's typically a swing state.
We're heading to Central Asia next with Ken's take on Kazakhstan. The country is massive and smack in the middle of the Eurasian landmass.
Kazakhstan, by its geography, it's right next to China on the west side. It is where the railroad from China to Europe passes through largely because there are a few mountains. It's a flat land. Kazakhstan is very keen to invest. It has oil, so it's very rich. It has been investing in railways and pipelines. It's a crucial connector state, energy lifeline for China if it wants to move away from the Indian Ocean. But then again, Kazakhstan doesn't want to swap its traditional dependence on Russia with dependence on China. That would suffocate them. They have something called the multi-vector foreign policy. They always like to have options open. So this has created an opening for America to deepen ties.
There are other Central Asian countries that Ken could have added to his swing state list. He picked Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan is very interesting. It's the only Central Asia country that doesn't have a border with China or Russia, so it has a little more flexibility in foreign policy. The Americans really are trying to strengthen relations with Uzbekistan.
The country sandwiched between Russia and China also makes it onto Ken's list. Mongolia is wooed by both powers, and Ken says its history plays a role in the psyche of Russians and Chinese.
Mongolia, geography, really smack in the middle of Russia and China, and also a great history. The Mongol Empire really has such an impact on modern day foreign policy. For instance, the Russian invasion of Ukraine it comes from a paranoia on the Russian side of needing to defend its borders, having buffer state. That comes from the memory of the Golden Horde, the Mongolians invading from the east for many years. So that really, I think, still has an impact. Uzbekistan was ruled by one of Genghis Khan's sons, and China was under the Mongolian Yuan dynasty. So really, there is much more history to that land.
Last but not least is Turkey. At the crossroads of Europe and Asia, it's a bit of a chameleon, able to play different roles in different regions.
Turkey is the most important of the swing states and the most important for Japan in its deterrence against China. Turkey, due to its geography, is critical, but it also has multiple identities. It's part of the Islamic world, it's part of the Black Sea economic zone, so with Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, and Georgia, they're one bloc. The Balkan countries and North Africa due to the former Ottoman period. I think for Japan and for the US, the key is Turkey's new interest in the Turkic states. The organization of Turkic states has a much more potential to be a more coherent, stronger unit. And once they become a strong voice, I think they will be a presence on China's western border.
So, there you have it, the 8 swing states of Eurasia, playing China, Russia, and the United States against each other. And inversely, Beijing, Moscow, and Washington must vie for their favor. And for now, one country is doing a better job than the other two. Can you guess which?
Xi Jinping has been saying it all along. He wants to create a community of shared destiny or a shared future. And what that means is to build pipelines, build ports, to connect the economic prosperity with China. So if China rises, all these neighboring countries rise with it. And because they'll be so intertwined that when it comes to a vote at the UN or the WTO, these neighboring countries will vote with China.
So what do you think? Do these swing states make sense to you? And do you think it's really China that's coming out ahead? Let us know in the comments. That's all for now. DW News is giving you the latest and also sharing deep dives on here and across the rest of social media. I'm Melissa Chan. Until next time.